So it kind of seems like a lot of people are upset about this complex top 10 sneakers of 2025 list. And as anticipated, they've been putting these lists together now for years. But as far as the live presentation on stage at ComplexCon, I would say that's a lot more recent. So as far as the people who put together this list, you got the Complex Sneakers podcast, Matt Welty, Brendan Dunn, which we all know he's over at StockX now, Joe LaPuma, Fat Joe, shout out to the other two. Unfortunately, I'm not too hip to who they are, but these are the people who put together the list. So we're gonna get into their picks and why people are mad. It's that simple. So at number 10, we got the Converse Shea Butter 1, which I'm really happy to see this sneaker actually make the list. Basketball sneaker, which of course the game of basketball, it's already got a competitive nature. So a lot of people are gonna get defensive about this one. Maybe their favorite player's shoe didn't make the list, but I appreciate what Shea did last season. The fact that he also signed with Converse, although they are under the Nike umbrella. I feel like it's kind of taking a risk, right? And shows that he's looking to kind of set his own path. So as far as the sneaker, cool design, it kind of pays homage to them old Reebok Iverson joints, and I appreciate that debut butter colorway. The only thing that I'm kind of mad about this sneaker is I really can't get my hands on these joints, right? So coming in at number 9, we got the Infinite Archive Jordan 17s, which these are really cool, right? We don't see Jordan Brand drop too many 17s, right? And as far as this pair, I know a lot of people are kind of salty when these drop based off the fact that we were teased a lot more colorful pairs, right? But this is the actual final product, which the storytelling, the different colors are all represented in the bottom. And then as far as this kind of sail upper featured on this sneaker, it pays homage to the Off-White Jordan 4s, as well as the Just Dawn 2s, which dropped back in the day. So the fact that Easy Audemars, Infinite Archives founder, he kind of came up under those two individuals, Virgil, as well as Just Dawn. That was his way of kind of like taking things full circle, right? And paying homage, giving it back, right, to those guys. So that was a really cool drop right there. Now coming in at number 8, this is one that I've seen a lot of people feel like these shouldn't have made the list. I think probably the most polarizing sneaker on the list, right? And I think it's kind of due to the fact that just a lot of people really don't rock with Yachty like that. So it's just kind of one of those shoes which, you know, a lot of people are mad about, I guess you could say. Said it's really unnecessary to make the list. But personally, I'm a big fan of this sneaker, right? So those are cool. Coming in at number 7, we got the Jordan 5 Black Metallic, which this one, I think the reason that this sneaker is so solid just because with a lot of fake manufactured hype, it kind of just felt like this was an organic release that people just gravitated towards. Remember, these dropped earlier, top of the year kind of, and still were able to actually manage to make the list, which, you know, some of these shoes which drop earlier in the year, a lot of people kind of forget about them as time goes on. But of course, as it's a classic, it's going to withstand that test of time. But I have seen a lot of people upset at the fact that Complex actually had these so low at number 7, where I've seen a lot of people calling these joints sneaker of the year. So coming in here at number 6, we got the Levi's Air Max 95, which is no secret. It's been a huge year for the Air Max 95. With Levi's, they did some really cool things with Jordan Brand previously. So for them to team back up again with Nike, this was a release which when these joints dropped, bro, like everybody was super hype about these 3 different colors to choose from, but this was probably the standout right here, a really solid drop. But as far as complaints, right, when you talk about Air Max 95's collaboration, some people would say that there were others which were superior, such as the Yu-Gi-Oh joint. So let me know how y'all feel about that. Coming in at number 5, we got the Awake NY Air Jordan 5, which there was also the blue racer color pair, but it seems like people were a little more hyped for this one, which apparently was a little more exclusive, right? There was a lot of controversy surrounding this drop right here, you know, from the pairs being numbered to the backdoor allegations to the whole big scam scandal. You guys remember that one if you're really tapped in. But at the end of the day, I just think this is a solid color. I appreciate the pink, which then again, anytime you got a pink sneaker, that's gonna get a lot of hate. But the redesigned upper of the 5, that was cool, and just the colors, I'm just a big fan of this one. So that was one of the cool drops. Again, salty, not able to grab my pair. Coming in here next, where we at now? Number 4, right? We got the Pharrell Addy Star Jellyfish from Adidas. So yeah, these were one of the ones that a lot of people were saying sneaker of the year. So for these to come in at number 4, can we really be too mad at Complex? The first Adidas pair that make the list, actually the only pair of Adidas to make the list. And so far, they've already hit us with 2 other colors. All of these have been a hit so far. But the real question is, will these stand the test of time? Are these just a sneaker for the moment? Have the limited, you know, hype availability kind of made this one appeal seem like it's bigger than it really is? I feel like this one's solid on its own, and like even people outside of the sneaker community, I feel like this is one that a lot of people rock with, right? So next up, coming in at number 3, I think this one was a big surprise for many people. We got the Air Max 95 Neon. Now, based off the fact this is the OG original pair, I can't be mad to see these joints drop, big bubble and all and everything like that. But the reason I'm kind of questioning this shoe, don't get it twisted, man. These are one of my favorite releases of the year, right? Even though they were super limited and everything like that. But the fact that these dropped back in 2020, Complex, plus a lot of people didn't even mention these for Sneaker of the Year honors. And the fact that now, just because like Nike brought back the hype, the Air Max 95, now these are gonna make the list, like that's just wild. And it just like shows you how effective Nike's marketing strategy has been when you talk about this release right here. So coming in at number 2, can't be mad at this. We got the undefeated Air Jordan 4, the sneaker, which was like a mythical grail for many people. Nobody thought these joints would come back. Even when they announced that these were dropping, like it still didn't even feel like it was real. There was so many storylines about this drop. But I think the best part about this shoe is they made enough pairs pretty much for everybody to enjoy. Not enough for everybody, but they definitely put a lot of joints out this past summer. So this is one of the biggest releases last summer. Made a whole lot of noise. And then coming in at number 1, bruh, we got 2 Jordan 4s in the top 10. Number 2 and number 1, we got the Nigel Brick by Bricks, which I think this is no surprise. Like, salute to that boy Nigel. He deserved it. This is the year that he's kind of getting his flowers and everything like that. Can't be mad at that one. Of course, you know, everybody's going to have their comments to say about it, but I think that's a solid pick, you know, for Sneaker of the Year. So why are people upset about this list right here? Well, shout out to AD Sneaks giving us a screenshot of the entire list captured right here. If you haven't noticed by now, I mean, remember, Converse is under the Nike umbrella. So if you factor that in, basically 9 out of the top 10 sneakers, you know, are going to be either Nike, Jordan Brand, or Converse, which is absolutely insane just due to the fact that, bruh, there's so many other great brands doing their thing out there. We got one Adidas pair, which made the list. How can we forget about New Balance, Saucony, J-Tips, Joe Fresh Goods, what are them joints called? The Piggy Runners, unheard of brand over at Adidas. These are a lot of pairs which people probably felt like should have made the list. Vans is doing great things as well this year. The Ja 3 was a really exciting basketball silhouette. The AE2, probably a little bit too late to get mentioned, but we'll see how things go next year. But as far as the list right here, I know people are probably upset, you know, about what's happening right here. Asics, can't forget about Asics as well. But I think when you talk about a Complex, like you guys see how big Complex Con is. You see how many corporate sponsors, how much money is backing what they're doing every single year. I think Complex is going for a list which maybe doesn't appeal to like sneakerheads that are like really die hard into all of these new brands and everything, but I think they're going for like the biggest reach, right? They're going for the sneakers which are gonna be like the more general popular shoes, right? They dropped this year, which is why you see so many Nike and Jordan brand releases. So as far as the list, while you know you can nitpick and be mad all day about how things went down, I would challenge you guys to jump in the comments, drop some of your favorite pairs which dropped this year, because what you see right here from Complex is essentially like the most popular shoes, you know, which dropped this year. So, you know, there are a lot of honorable mentions, I would say, that probably missed out on the list. I could say some pairs shouldn't deserve to be there here and there, but hey, I'm not here at the panel. And remember, when you talk about Complex, when they do this live panel Sneaker of the Year list, they always do a revision towards the end of the year. So I'm sure like a lot of these picks are gonna change. Some pairs will be removed, some pairs will be added. You guys already know how it is. So I'll challenge you guys to comment. Let me know what were some of your favorite sneakers of the year, or if you wanna go ahead and drop your own top 10, feel free to do so. I'm gonna be replying to everybody that drops their own top 10 in the comments. So JATV, I appreciate you guys. If you enjoy the content, consider subscribing. I'll catch you guys next time. In the meantime, stay safe, stay blessed. I'm out, y'all. Love.